Ladies and gentlemen, Cinema Buckets, we have a special treat for you today as we have tribute artist Austin Powers impersonator Richard Halpern. How you doing, man?
I'm fine, baby. How are you?
Are you feeling any shackadelic today or what, man? I
Oh,
looked at you. You look
every
fantastic.
day I feel shagadelic, baby. That's right. It's a great big shagadelic world. You understand, right, baby?
Damn, definitely. I looked at the Zoom call and like, man, we're two sexy bitches. That's what we are.
We are sexy. We are sexy bitches, right?
Perfect. How you doing today? Where are you located, man?
Oh, I'm in Hollywood, California.
Okay.
Doing well, and I appreciate that. Yes.
Definitely. How long have you been in California?
Oh, since 1974, baby. Since years before I was born. I've been in
Okay.
California for years before I was born.
Nice, nice, very nice. All right, well let's talk about, your it's basically your job, right? Is this your part-time, your full-time? How'd you get into the gig?
Well, I'm a full-time actor, entertainer, voiceover person, and this, for now, is really, it takes over sometimes. Sometimes it wanes. Sometimes it's just, right now it's really cooking because this video I was in that went viral.
There you
It
go.
went viral and made me more virile, baby.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. I think
So
that video
unlike
was the one where the guy invited you to his house, right? It was just him.
yes, that was one. We filmed a lot of stuff
Hmm.
within that. I was only there like 30 minutes,
Hmm.
and we filmed a lot of stuff and it was all improv. He just gave me the setup, and
Okay.
then I just took it and ran with it, and then he showed pieces of it, and what he showed apparently was enough because this thing is killing me. God damn it! Stop it! Ew, good,
Looks good.
sorry.
Looks good. It looks good.
I
It looks
went
good.
away with her back there. My hamster fell off the wheel, but he's back on now.
There you go. There you go. Perfect. And that video did go viral. I remember seeing it, and I remember the very first thing you said when you shook his hand, which I thought was hilarious, was, "Wow, you must live alone." That's it. You hooked me right there from that
Well,
video
I
on.
said, "Oh, what a grip you have! You must live alone." And I don't remember where I got that joke. It's probably from Skippy Lowe. All
Mhm.
these jokes I get from, a character named Olga Hungover, Mae West, Skippy Lowe, all these entertainers. You just pick up these phrases, and then I make up a lot of my own. Man, I
Yeah.
do.
All right. Nice. Very.
Yeah.
What's the biggest challenge in the line of this line of work, just impersonators and in general?
Well, the biggest challenge, of course, is making certain you keep your appearance up. Like the stupid thing that that's minutia. To you, but that's the biggest challenge. Make sure your presentation looks as good as it can, and of
Mhm.
course, to the viewer or they say, "Oh, you look great, you look great," but inside you're saying, like friends that say, "Oh, do you see? Look at this pimple I have." And I say, "You know what, baby? If you hadn't mentioned it, I never would have seen it. So it's that kind of stuff. It's the keeping up the appearance, negotiating, sifting through the inquiries,
Mhm.
especially now when several of them come at one time.
Yeah.
I just love when we all come at one time, right, baby? I can just feel it. You don't
Love it. Love it.
but yeah, that's tough as well because you have to communicate with people who don't necessarily know how to approach someone to do a job for them.
Hmm.
Now, most of the people, like the corporate people, very explicit. Hello, my
Hmm.
name is so and so, and I'm the such and such at this company. And we were thinking of this show, and it's on these dates. And
Mhm.
it's in this, could you let us know what, so now you've got some information. You've got the occasion, you got the dates, you
Mhm.
got the, where is it and stuff, and you go from there. But I get people who, a lot of them will have that. They'll say, I'm having a birthday party in, July 8th
Mhm.
in the city of West Hollywood, and it would be about at least you know where and
Where?
when.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they say, "Oh, it's in L.A." Okay, what part of LA is it in, baby? And it's like, wait, oh, it's in Marina Del Rey. Yes, that is technically LA, but it's really far away, man. That kind of thing. Or my favorite is how much?
Huh.
That's it. So it's like, oh, my battery power's dying. Don't
Oh,
move, baby. Don't
I'm
move,
staying
don't move.
still.
My battery's dying. Oh, it's dying. It's going to die to death. Wait a tick, baby. Wait a tick. Oh, you've got to do this. Oh, great. Pull that off. In heaven. Oh, you can see what I'm doing right now with the thing. Oh, gracious me. Wait a tick, baby. Hold on. And you got to be prepared for anything, as you can see.
I see
All
that.
right? Prepared for anything. And there's always something that potentially you forgot to pay attention to. And as you see, I didn't freak out, that's part of the act, Whoop, there we go. There we go, right there. There it is, right there. Yeah, okay. You think this works? Am I still there?
You're absolutely, you look great. You look good, man.
Thank you. Hold on. Yeah.
Looks good. Looks good.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How do you how do you market yourself now? I mean, obviously through social media and stuff like that, especially in Hollywood.
Well, I've got, the social media is really good for me for what I'm doing.
Hmm.
Instagram is basically functioning as a place where people can see what I do,
Your product,
as
basically.
opposed to a website, which I could do with a website, let's face it. But so far, I've been okay with just Instagram, and people know me. And the big corporate people, they will send me an email.
Perfect.
Like I said, they said, we want to do this, we're serious. And like that. Sometimes I get you, and on my voicemail, I got a public voice. I have a pubic voice. I'm sorry, a public voicemail. But people can call and leave a messages and or type in, and it's a text that comes to me. And like yourself, when
Yeah.
you didn't send me an email,
Hmm.
you sent a text,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay, so that showed up to me in my email like a text, so I can write back to you, and this is how we do it. And the other thing is, yeah, word of mouth. I did that video
Hmm.
because Chase Hofer is a friend of Van Ward, who I worked with doing a music video like a
Okay.
year ago for his girlfriend Adana Duru, and the song was called "Honest Liar," and we shot it up in Malibu in the canyons, and
Nice.
and so that led to a Christmas party with one of his friends. And then, of course, Chase said, "Listen, I'm a friend of Van, and would you like to, what would you charge to do that?" And yeah, word of mouth and other corporate people, and return business. I always, because I do trade shows. I'm a booth traffic generator. I
Oh.
bring leads into the booth. They talk to me, baby. They'll walk by. I bring them in, man, and then it's up to the salespeople to close them. You know what I mean? Close them means to make the sale.
Gotcha.
Close the deal. Did you close them? Did you close that? That's what that means.
Gotcha.
Um, so, and then of course, I'm a member of a Gig Salad, which is like a party site for several entertainers. you'd pay a fee at the beginning of the year, which
Mhm.
believe me, it pays for itself,
Mhm.
and they take a percentage of what you make, a very small percentage. And that's really great. And when this video hit, I got tons, and I'm still getting them from Gig Salad. I guess if you Google Austin Powers impersonator, I'd come right up,
Okay.
apparently, depending on when you Google it. I guess if you
Mhm.
Google it 10 minutes later, but yeah, Gig Salad shows up. I show up my Instagram. Um, and so it's not hard to find me if you Google Austin Powers impersonator. But and let's see what, yeah. So stuff like that. People make content, and if
Okay.
they have a bunch of people looking at their content,
Mhm.
it what do you call it? Trickles down to me. Now, a couple of years ago, 2 years ago in November, I had another viral video that I happened to be in, and this gentleman by the name of Eric Curtin, apparently he's a big Twitter person.
Mhm.
And it was this tiny, tiny little party. They come for 30 minutes, just show up, and they film me walking in the door going, yeah, baby, yeah. And then they pan over to Eric, who's doing this. And then it cuts to a still of us outside, sitting at a table and making FaceTime and stuff. Well, everybody saw that. Everybody, who is he? I want to hire him. Who is he? I want to hire. So I got some followers from that, but nothing like this. I went 2 years ago. I had like 8,000,
Mhm.
followers to like 26,000, which still is not a lot, but
Mhm.
to go that far. Then it started waning. They started leaving me. Oh, you're leaving me, baby. You're abandoning me. I've got an abandonment issue. Then this, I got down to about 25, whatever. Now, every day it's going up and up. It's almost at 50,000 in about a week since we
Very
did that.
nice.
So
Awesome.
it's really, really amazing. And like I said, you get it from all sides. And the only thing I don't like about Gig Salad, well, there's a couple of things,
Mhm.
is if you are nationwide, which I am, I'm
Mhm.
available worldwide.
Wow.
And if you read the profile, it says I am based in Los Angeles, California.
Hmm.
But the problem with their business model or whatever, let's say you're in Boise, Idaho,
Hmm.
and you type in Austin Powers impersonator near me, I come up and available nationwide, but it doesn't say where I'm based. So I get
Uh,
inquiries for people. Oh, it's just a 30-minute, it just come down for an hour. They have no idea that
gotcha.
I'm not there. And so what I did, and they didn't want me to do this, but I did it anyway. And they don't
That's-
even know. Maybe they
mhm.
know now. They see they have this rule: you cannot put any text on your profile picture. And I said, look, man, I'm one of the big popular things on here. Can I please write based in Los Angeles,
Mhm.
California, right under my face? They said, no, no, you can. So I did it anyway. So I'm getting less people, because they look at the picture. That's what they see, the
Yeah.
photograph.
Mhm.
And if they see a base in Los Angeles, California, they're not going to send me anything.
Got,
And it
gotcha.
wastes their time. And
Hmm.
it wastes the Gig Salad's time.
Gotcha.
And it wastes my time. No, it's not a waste of time. But no, that's not true.
Hmm.
None of those inquiries is a waste of my time because it's people that reached out to me.
Yeah,
That is
definitely.
not a waste of time. And I do respond with, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not anyway. I lied. It is not a waste of time for me. So I'm grateful for anything that comes in. The only waste of time is how much, what do you charge?
Hmm.
Oh, and this was a good one. I have a club in certain city and I have a date on this time. Rates,
Oh God.
rates. Yes. So,
Jeez.
gone. And
Gotcha.
another red flag, another red flag. If it starts with yo, it's going to be bad. And it's always been bad. If you start with yo, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go well, baby. So, but look, do it. And I listen, regardless, I'm grateful for anyone who reaches out to me.
Yeah, awesome. And again, your personality is great. Now, portraying this character uh has it changed you by any way possible? Like maybe do you act more like Austin Powers more on a daily than anything, or you know how to kind of turn it off?
Well, yeah, I turn it off, but it's helped me in the way that see everything I do is basically an improv.
Hmm.
You go to these parties, you can't just go to an entire party with four movie lines. Like, yeah, baby, yeah. You have to know how to talk to the people, and they say something to you. You've got to say something back. That's
Yeah.
funny. So it has given me a forum to really utilize the improvisation skills or whatever you want to call it. And so that's really good. And I like to create content, and I will start, people that write scripts,
Hmm.
they talk to themselves in the characters and they say, "Oh, that's great." They write it down, And the people that write who write for the comedy nights, the late night
Hmm.
shows, they talk like the people they're writing for. Because
Hmm.
I used to do some voices on Jay Leno,
Okay,
and I did a
cool.
couple of on-camera things, and one of the writers was, "Well, this is what we were thinking. We were thinking that you could maybe just say, it's going to be something like this, and we write all the he speaks in the vernacular. Jay Leno is there. I get it. You talk like Jay. Same thing with the Tony. What was his name? Tony Clifton.
Tony Clifton.
Remember Tony Clifton
Yep.
and Andy Kaufman? Remember
Yep.
that character he made?
Hmm.
Well, his producer, his friend, wrote a lot of that stuff, and he also did the character. He showed up as the bullshit, bullshit, my line, bullshit, bullshit, my line. He could do the character as well. And I have written dialogue for people who have created a character,
Hmm.
and I talk like that character. An example is, I worked on KISS FM, KIIS FM 102.7 here in Los Angeles with Rick Dees for 20 years. And he also has the weekly top 40. I think he still has that, syndicated. Well, I met a lot of writers there, radio writers. And one of the people I met is Ken Morgan, who was known as Bumpy Woods.
Hmm.
Funny as all get out. And he had so many disabilities. He was very obese. He was legally blind. He
Oh
had
wow.
all this stuff, but hysterically funny. He had a character that didn't even have a name. And it was, "Oh, that's great, baby." Baby, I want to tell you, taught me how to do fake coughing.
Oh wow.
So I named that character Sammy Diamond. So, and I wrote a lot of the bits
Hmm.
because I talked in that voice. And let me show you, all the viewers out there. You don't want to see this, okay? Look at you, how to fake cough. Are you ready?
Let's do
Now
it.
it starts at the back of your throat, as opposed to ending in the back of your throat. Yeah. And you just basically going, that's it. But you put your voice in, and you just go, that's all you're doing. You with your voice, and you put your hand here and you go, and when you really want to have a long cough, you go, and it's like,
There it is.
feels like I'm dying, but I'm not. It's fake. Do it on an elevator. Do it on a lift, baby, with a bunch of crowded people. Just go. Ah!
People will be like, "Yep."
So
Amazing.
I hope you remember that, baby. I
No,
think you
I
fake
that was
cough.
amazing. You actually sounded like Mel Brooks in Spaceballs when he was clearing his throat. You remember
I
that?
worked with well, I worked with Mel Brooks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 100 years ago in To Be or Not to Be. Do you remember that he did a remake
Hmm.
in 1983? You remember that with Anne
Yep.
Bancroft?
Yep.
Well, I was an extra. I'm sorry. I mean, I had a cameo in that film as one of the Jews hiding in the basement. And Mel Brooks was wonderful, and Anne Bancroft, the greatest lady, the nicest lady who ever walked this earth. She was the nicest lady. Well, Mel said some funny, funny things. We're out 4 o'clock in the morning in San Fernando. If you're out here, you know where that is. Way up at a municipal airfield, because they got this plane that's supposed to take the Jews out of
Mhm.
occupied Poland, away from the Nazis, and go to England. So we're filming this whole big thing. Well, between the takes, for whatever reason, this old lady who was one of the extra, I'm sorry, she had a cameo as well, and was sitting there. And Mel comes in, he sees her, he goes, "Why is this lady sitting here? Darling, who told you to stay here? You don't have to stay here. You can go back to the honey wagon." The honey wagon is the food truck, you know. No, who told this lady to sit? Why is this lady sitting here? Who told her to sit here? So I thought that was really funny, you know.
That's amazing, and the impersonations are crazy. Who else can you do? Basically anyone? I mean, it seems like you.
Well, pick somebody. Maybe I can do them. Then I'll tell you the ones I already do.
I don't know, I don't know. Like at the top of my head, I don't know. Bob Saget? I don't know. Like,
Bob Saget. I can do it. Nobody knows what he sounds like. Pick somebody. I do President Millard Fillmore, and that's what he sounded like. No? I do Sean Connery. I did Sean Connery on the Rick D show, and I just love shitting in the front of my car listening to the radio. Rick, did you ever shit in the front of your car listening to the radio? Ah, it's in the rough, Miss Moneypenny, pushing along. So I did Sean
bravo,
Connery for many
bravo.
years. They also did Pee Wee, 100 pounds ago. I'm listening to Reason. You know, like,
That's amazing, man.
this is a million years ago. And I'll tell you that the preeminent Pee Wee Herman was a
Mhm.
gentleman by the name of Jeff Scott.
Okay.
He was to Pee Wee what I am to Austin, and we became really good friends because he did cabaret comedy characters and stuff.
Mhm.
And when I had my show during the pandemic, he was a guest on it, and yeah. So yeah, all these different characters. Larry King, yeah, Massapequa Park. You're on with Larry King. Yes, yes. What do you want? Yes, you know, just things like that. I do several impersonations. I also have dubbed,
Okay.
looped for films. What happens is they make a movie
Hmm.
and they need to change some of the dialogue, or it's a cuss word, they need to take it, and the actor is not available because they're, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
so they'll bring people in to audition to sound like, not necessarily doing an impression of the actor, but of whatever the dialogue is. And it could be something really quiet like this, and they have to match that, and I do that and stuff. And I've done Gene Hackman, I've done, some other people. But yeah, I've done that. And then let's see, who else have I done, baby? Yeah, just a
That's
whole bunch of
awesome.
people, and try to talk like different people to try to get it right.
I mean, you have fantastic and an art form, man. Because I think, like I said, to mimic someone and get everything down packed, I mean that's art right there. So congratulations on you, man. That's awesome.
Well, thank
Um,
you.
now, how do you get into your Austin persona? Like, is there anything mentally that you do like before going to a party or stuff? Like I said, you have the wardrobe down packed. Where'd you get all that stuff? How does that all come into
Okay,
fruition?
well, I don't like go, okay, I'm ready for the, I don't do that. Once in a while, I'll just go, do I make you horny, baby? Do I make you randy? Don't be, yeah, like just a couple of the lines. And I'm telling you, when I'm getting dressed, that's what I'm concentrating on, is
Okay.
making sure I do that. But one of the, this is kind of weird, but I do it. Do you ever see Mommy Dearest? Of course, you saw
Of
Mommy
course.
Dearest.
Yeah.
Well, when you first see Faye Dunaway as she is Joan, her face,
Mhm.
somebody comes into her dressing room, she's facing away, and they say, "Miss Crawford," and you hear her say, "Yes, we're ready," and she goes, "Let's go." So I go, "Mr. Powers, yes, we're ready. Let's go." I look in the mirror.
It's
Well,
awesome.
it's something like that. I'll have basically it's all the parties are, they come under, there's not that many different types of parties
Mhm.
on the norm. Once in a while, they ask for something really, and I get all the information. They want this and that. But yeah, you just go in, They tell you what it is. It's mix and mingle, meet and greet, which means you just go to the party and talk to the people and hello, how are you, and do that. And photo ops. They say, would you like also get a photo with you? And it's the easiest thing in the world with these cameras now with the phone.
Yep.
I take the best selfies in the world. These people want to take a selfie. They go, I said, how are you doing it, bro? Well, they do it this way, and you're supposed to do it this. And so I do it, and they go, oh my God, that's a really good picture. I was like, oh, thank you. And that's if you use anything but an iPhone. The iPhones look like, make you look really weird. And then when you try to go like this,
And it
it doesn't
meshes up.
go.
Yep.
It doesn't go. So I said, let me guess, baby. You got an iPhone, right? Yeah. I said, all right, let me tell you something, baby. Don't ever buy anything from Apple except the stock.
That's true.
And that's true, man. When the iPad is a piece of,
Yep.
and it doesn't work with, I mean, I'm telling you, it's ridiculous that some of this stuff. So I would never buy anything Apple. I do need a new iPad because there is some things only the iPad can do. But on the whole, it doesn't feel good, But, you take photos with people. Sometimes they say, would you, announce the raffle, pull a number out. I'll go up and I said, would you like to see me pull it out right here on stage? Would you like to see me pull it out? Yes. And I reach it and go, here it is. And, I talk very loudly, number 2468. Number 2468. And if they don't answer, you go to the next one. Yes, no. All right, next one. And you do that, or you do, this is really fun too, the auction. Okay. They rarely ask me to lead the auction because they get someone that goes, they get one of those guys or girls that does it. So what I do, they say, okay, this is it. They'll say, all right, this is a trip for 6 to a bungalow in Palm Springs for the weekend and wine and dinner. So I go 6. Yes, it sleeps 6 comfortably and 12 sinfully. So they'll say $100, $200, $300, $1,000. I go back to the other one. I say, yes, usually it's 2 people. I said, you gonna let get away with that? Come on, man. You want this $1,200? I go, get away with. I think, come on, then $1,300. So I get the bids up, and then it finally sells. I do that. Introduce people like the heads of the company, or this or that. Please welcome to the stage. They're very tight, they're very sexual. Whatever. And you do that, and sometimes and wedding receptions.
Okay.
I've done a lot of wedding receptions where you have the dancers, the
Mm-hmm.
father-daughter dance, the Jewish wedding, the horror.
Yep.
The horror is where they put you up on chairs and carry you around on the chairs and it goes on for an hour.
Oh,
It's
wow.
my people, my own people, very Jewish people. Let me tell you about the horror. Always get paid before the horror. Because if you finish your job before the horror,
It's
you can
done.
run around with your hand out, and then they'll say, I'll write you a check. I said, well, then what's the agreement? I don't deal with that anymore. I get paid in advance when I arrive. So I don't. But those of you out there doing this, you got to do the horror. Get your money first because the horror is going to go on. Anyway. So yeah, there's all sorts of different things that they ask you to do.
Mm-hmm.
And greet people on the red carpet. They'll have a red carpet. They'll have a step and repeat. And a step and repeat, if you don't know what the folks out there don't know what that is, it's a red carpet, and behind is either a company logo or several companies that are the sponsors. So you see a lot of celebrities going to films, and behind them it is like a wall or whatever, with the names of things. And then you stop here, click, 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 click. Then you move over here, click, 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 click. So you're stepping and repeat. So that's a step and repeat. You do that, or you stay on the red carpet, and there's Marilyn over here, Elvis is over here, Tom Cruise is over here. This one, and they come down the you know, and you greet them as they come in, baby. Yeah, come on in, baby. Or there's a you do the cocktail hour, so you mix with the cocktail, and when the dinner comes, the doors open, and you say, "All right, baby, it's time for dinner. Come on inside, baby. Give me stuff." You know, and you seat them. Then you know all different scenarios, and I've done pretty much all of them.
Oh, nice. Very nice. What's now let's talk a little bit about Austin Powers. What to you is your favorite Austin Powers movie?
The first one,
The
without a
first.
doubt.
Nice, nice. Have you ever met Mike Myers by any chance? Have
I
you
have. I
interacted
met
with
him.
him?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Have you interacted with him? Yeah, you said yeah, sorry.
Yes, yes. I met him the first time in 2002, the Wednesday before Gold Member opened,
Okay.
and in Hollywood, he got his star on the Walk of Fame.
Mhm.
And at that time, I was hired by New Line Cinema,
Okay.
who had hired me before to do the VHS DVD release party for The Spy Who Shagged Me. So I was on their radar, and you know, they hired me in a joint thing with ArcLight Cinemas, which the ArcLight is sitting there like that's a Cinerama Dome.
Mhm.
You know, all the movie theaters they built around it, and it had 14 theaters. Now it's just dead. So the week before Gold Member, I was out in the courtyard, you know, with the couch and the martini and the Jaguar XK8,
Mhm.
and
Nice.
then the Mini Cooper, and people are taking photos and all this. And then you know, I'd go in and introduce the different films because if you've ever been to an arc light, what they did was before every film, one of the ushers or whoever you call them, they'd come up and they would introduce the film. And they
Okay.
say, oh, welcome to such and such film. It runs 1 hour and 10 minutes. And, you know, it's a great film starring blah, 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 blah. So we're going to stay around here over in the corner in case there's any problems with the filming. And please turn up your cell phones, please, and enjoy the show. So every movie had that.
Does that.
So
Okay.
they had me come in the week before, and I walked in, and the movie was Road to Perdition,
Oh God,
which
Tom
is a
Hanks.
big downer, baby. So I walked in and I said, hello, everybody. I said, all right, baby, here to introduce tonight's film. And let me tell you, right now is the happiest you're going to be for the rest of the night. Because this film's a big, it's really heavy, man. And so, and don't forget, next week, Austin Powers and Gold Member is playing right at this theater. Don't forget to show. So I did that. And then the weekend of when it opened on that Friday night. Anyway, Mike Myers got his star on the Walk of Fame on the Wednesday before that.
Hmm.
And I was there, and the Chamber of Commerce in Hollywood, who was in charge of all the star ceremonies,
Hmm.
they knew me from Kiss FM because
Yeah.
I covered stuff. They knew me, and they said, "Oh, Richard, can you dress up as Austin and come?" Because I would go behind the barricades. I'd be one of the VIPs, and I said, "You know, you better talk to them, the
Yeah.
studio. I don't know. I mean, if I'm out in the crowd, is that? But me,
Hmm.
I don't think that would be wise to do it because I'm with." So they thought about it. So then I had some dealings with the studio, and then I said, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to the star ceremony. You don't want me to dress up for that?" "Oh no, no, don't. Whatever you do, do not." I said, "All right, that's what I thought."
Hmm.
So I show up there, and on the walkie-talkie, they said, "Yeah." They said, "Is Richard here?" Said, "He's not dressed. Is he dressed up? Is he dressed up?" They said, "No, he's not dressed up." So I came in. That is where I met Mike Myers. I was not in costume.
Hmm.
We talked for a little bit. I told him what I do, and he was very complimentary and this. And the only thing I regret is at that time I did not get a photograph with him. So then jump ahead all these years, I kept missing him.
Hmm.
You know, missed it by that much on Halloween in West Hollywood, or here Mike Myers was just here. Mike Myers was just, and I just missed him up. The time I met him, my outfit presentation looked as good as it ever had.
Hmm.
And it was at AFI, which is American Film Institute. They had this one special night called AFI Night at the Movies, held again at the ArcLight. There's 14 theaters. There were. They showed a different movie in each theater, a really classic film of a
Mhm.
big first run, introduced by one of the stars of it, and they had the Silence of the Lambs. Jodie Foster introduced it. They
Cool.
had, I think Sean Connery was there for A Lion in Winter there.
Oh,
So
wow.
they said they're going to have Mike Myers there to introduce Austin Powers, the Spy Who Shagged Me. And the guy who brought me is a member, and he said, "You got to dress up, bring your business card. You've got to go to this thing. Mike Myers is going to be there." And now I'd already met Jay Roach, who was the
Hmm.
director of all three films. So I didn't know he was going to be there. So I show up and I'm all,
Uh-huh.
and I walk up and I just said, and this poor kid was like an intern, a page. He's got the thing, he's got a suit on, he must be all of 18, 19. I said, "Where do I go? What do I say, baby?" And then he goes, "Oh, okay, you come right this way and you go and you just walk down the carpet. And thank you, baby, thank you." Now the press, they knew it was me, and I'm handing out business cards, and then all these pictures. And then I'm about three-quarters of the way down, and a security person comes up. He said, I'm so sorry. You can't do this." I said, "Well, damage has already been done, baby." You know, I went inside, and I'm all dressed up, and people are looking at me. I'm going, "Oh, look." So I'm kind of waiting for him to come in. And I said, "Would it be possible for me to introduce him?" And they said, "No, Jay Roach is going to introduce him. But they're not going to come in till everybody's sitting down." So I sat down. I look up near the stage, to the screen, and Mike's photographer is there. Now I know there's a commotion. He's up. The photographer says, I look at the audience. Should I go? Should I go? They're like, "Yes." So I go over there, and there's Mike. "Hello, Mike. It's good to see." And I gave him my card, and he said, "I know you. I know you." I said, "Yes, I'm Andre's friend. My neighbor used to do. He does like technical things and things for the television. He worked on Shrek 3. It's some sort of post production,
Hmm.
and he gave Mike my card during that.
Hmm.
And Mike Myers apparently said, "Wow, he looks just like me." And then he said, "I'm happy to be able to put food on his table." That's right. But that's what he said. So then I said, "Oh, yeah, yeah, you're Andre's friend." From that moment on, I have no recollection of what we were talking about. But he says to me, unsolicited, he says, "Oh, and by the way, you look fabulous. That looks amazing." So that's about the highest
That's awesome.
compliment you can get. That's what he said to me. And we did get a photograph.
Oh,
But the
nice.
only problem was I wasn't going, I was going, but hey, I got the picture, you know what I mean?
Hey, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, so he was really nice, and then I met Jay Roach again. We had this club in Glendale, California called the Electric Pussycat,
Mhm.
which was an Austin Powers themed bar and club, and great idea. It was put on by the people that did do the Beetle House.
Okay, cool.
And it imploded because all the owners, they got 5 different owners, didn't know what anybody else was doing. And then there was some shenanigans going. It just, but it was fun while it lasted. Well, New Line had two parties there.
Hmm.
They had the New Line Cinema reunion because New Line was an offshoot of Warner Brothers. Now they have been absorbed by
Yeah.
Warner Brothers parent company. They still operate under their own label, but it's all Warner Brothers.
Hmm.
So New Line wouldn't be suing me. It would be Warner Brothers, but no one's going to sue me because I do everything the right way.
Yeah.
And I knew all those people. And I said, "What am I allowed to do? What am I not allowed to do?" And they said, "Well, you can do this, you can, but don't do this, don't do," and I
Hmm.
adhered to it. So I go in, and there were two people I was real close with at New Line. One was Louise Ransell, who was in the legal department, legal, and we talked all the time about stuff. And she had to quit. I think her father was ill or something. So then in the marketing department, I would buy the 3-pack DVDs, all three films,
Hmm.
like $10. I'd buy them for $10, and I'd give them out at parties and stuff. Well, the person who was doing that left, and a new person came in, Mike Skelton, who said to me one time, he said, Richard, I'm going to tear up your check. I said, why? Because I'm just going to send these to you. You're a walking sandwich board. You're keeping the thing alive. And he sent me these things all the time. The nicest man. I had never met him. I'd never seen him, only on the phone. Well, he was the other person I asked. As I say, is Louise going to be here? They said, no, she's not going to be here. I said, how about Mike Skelton? He's here. So could you show me who he is? They pointed him out. I went, and I'm in full. Also, I went up. And I said, "Mike, it's Richard Halpern." Because, oh my God! Now I was crying. I
Oh.
started crying because this guy was so kind to me, and we're on Facebook now.
Hmm.
He's shown up at some of the screenings of Austin Powers. I have posted screenings of Austin, and but when you see someone for the first time that in your past
Hmm.
has done something nice for you and everybody's gone and this. So yeah, so that's how that went. And like I said, Mike Myers, was very nice to me. Jay Roach had come in, and saw Jay Roach again that night. He kind of remembered me,
Hmm.
and Mindy Sterling, who was Frau Farbissina, who's a friend of mine, and um, what's his name? Played Scott Evil. What's his name? What's that little boy's name?
Oh, Seth Green.
Seth Grease.
Yep.
Don't ever get middle aged. Don't ever get middle aged. All right. Seth Green, his girlfriend was there. Some other people, and some of the producers. Eric McLeod was one of the producers. He was there. All this stuff was going on, and Bob Shea, who was the head of New Line, was there and stuff. So I got to meet all these people. Well, they had another party, a tiny little VIP party upstairs that was put on by Suzanne Todd, who was one of the producers. It was her birthday or something. They had maybe 10, 15 people. Again, Mindy Sterling and her son, Seth Green, his girlfriend, Jay Roach, and Susanna Hoffs from the Bangles. That is Mrs. Jay Roach.
Oh.
She's also a member of Ming T, the
Hmm.
little band that he played.
Yep.
And she sings in the films, She was there. Some other people were there. And he took me aside, and we were talking. And he said, he brought up Austin Powers 4, which every day I'll get, are they going to make a fourth one? Are they going to make a fourth one? Because I'm like the mom of all the, so they all come to me, and anytime there's a tiny bit of chatter online about Austin 4,
You
they
get
say,
it.
oh, I talked about Austin 4. So, and it's the same thing. Well, we'd love to do it. So that's it. And I said to Joe, I'm glad you asked that, baby, because I tell people it depends on who you talk to and on what day. And I said, so what's the answer? He says, well, I'm waiting for him. And then he says, it would be great to bring Mike into this club and have a meeting with him, like over there. He'd be surrounded by all the Austin well, not necessarily memorabilia, but the way it was painted,
Mhm.
the way it looked like, his swinging shag pad, oh, your friend works for or the Electric Pussycat Swingers Club in swinging London, it was kind of decorated like that. Well, the club dies. He never got to bring him in. But then I saw him again. They showed all 3 Austin Powers films at the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences in Beverly Hills. I dressed up. I went there. Jay Roach was there again, Susanna Hoffs, and we talked again. And then I said, oh my God, I forgot to would you take a photo with me, Jay? She said, of course I will. I said, thank you, you're so kind. She says, you're keeping this alive. And this is from the second in command. The president, Mike Myers, said this. The vice president said, you're keeping this alive. So I've gotten validation
That's awesome.
from both of those people, and I did promote it on my Instagram, and there were people that came just to see me, which I think is amazing and great. And of course, they love the movie. They're fans of Austin. That was an opportunity. Dina Appel, who was the costume designer, she was there. She's a friend. And George S. Clinton, who did all the incidental music, he was there. Finally got to meet him.
Cool.
So, you get around and you just, like I said, word of mouth. If somebody talks to these people, do you know this guy? Yes, I know him. I don't know where this video I just did is going to wind up. Maybe someone is going to send it to Mike Myers or
There you go. Tag
the
them.
Hall or Jay, and they'll say, do you look at this guy?" And they're gonna say, "Oh, I know him. That's Rich," you know. And so I'm hoping that happens.
Oh, hopefully, man. Because you know what? I mean, especially now, like this day and age, how they like to kind of just bring back like some trilogies and stuff like that. Why not try that? I mean, why? I mean, I would be down for Austin Powers. And the funny thing is that you watch it now. Some of the movies and some of the back in the 80s or 90s, some of them don't measure up or just like they lose its steam. But Austin Powers is still. I mean, I had Howard on, and he talked
Oh,
about I love
love it.
him. Yeah, he was amazing, and just talking about being in Austin Powers and it still holds up to this day really good. Like you can still watch it and still get the jokes and they haven't gone stale. It's good writing.
No, it hasn't. And then there's some of the more, like misogynistic, which means in case you misogyn, if you're guilty of misogyny, that doesn't mean you're you give a rub down. Misogyny is somebody that says something against women.
Yep.
So, oh, you're a misogynist. You hate women. That's what that means. And miscegenation means you are a black person and a white person marry. Oh, that's miscegenation. So
Yeah.
all these missing words. So some of that, yeah, I've toned it down
Hmm.
because you can't and it's not really funny. I mean, it was funny then, and
Hmm.
it kind of, and they cut a lot of stuff out of that movie.
I
Like
bet
in
they
the
did.
trailer, you see him say he's on his plane, his jumbo jet, and he says, "Bring on the sexy stews, man." That's not in the movie. That's on
Oh.
the deleted scenes. And what happens is the flight attendant or the stewardess, which is you
Hmm.
don't say stewardess, she said she keeps getting insulted or whatever. She goes, "Oh, I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to take this." So you see a bit of that going on. But yeah, so I kind of really cleaned it up. I was never, I always take it to the line. I
Hmm.
never cross the line. Now, the line itself has had a height adjustment over the years.
100%. Yeah.
And now the line is here more.
Hmm.
Again, I go to the line, I don't cross it.
Definitely. Like I guess you adjust, right? To comedy has it's way different,
No,
from back in.
people think, no, people will think, oh, Austin Powers, he's just a lech, and he says all these stupid, "Hey, chicky baby," or what, and the people that's turned off people that say, "Oh, that's this." But when you realize in the film, he's
Hmm.
very respectful
Hmm.
of women. Like Vanessa's drunk, and
Yeah.
she wants to play around. He says, "No, baby, your toss, your drink wouldn't be right."
Hmm.
So he's got and he learns from being promiscuous to being monogamous and why and how things have changed. He starts out as the fish out of water. Well, first he's in his element. They kick
Yeah.
into the 60s where he's, this. Then he's frozen. He comes out into this new world where everything has changed. But he starts to think that, yeah, baby. And she says, "Austin, things have changed. Don't call me baby.
Hmm.
It's just not done." So she teaches him
Hmm.
how to be more of a gentleman in the modern world. And then you see him trying to interact with people. Like he goes to the bar in Las Vegas and he looks at these four people. He goes, and they start laughing at him. What a freak! What a freak! So he sees that, oh, I've got to reinvent myself
Hmm.
because some of this stuff is just
Hmm.
not working. So he tries the new products. He puts the CD on the 45 record player and it
That's
goes, he has the shoe, he pumps the shoe and it blows up in his face. He just, the technology and the stuff, he kind of fumbles with it, but then he finally gets it. So he learns, he gets from A to Z. And
hmm
that's the good thing about that character. Plus, he is allegory. He represents an entire social consciousness. In the 60s, like Dr. Evil says, isn't it interesting that all the things you enjoyed in the 60s, like free love and swinging, are all now in the 90s considered evil?
hmm
And he corrects him and says, no, It's not. It was uptight squares like you that made it bad. We learn nowadays. We have all that stuff with responsibility. It's a very groovy time. So, but that is an allegory of someone who lived in the 60s,
Hmm.
evolved in the 90s, and doesn't act like they would have done in the 60s. All right. You go on television, like Mad Men or these old shows. Oh, I'll have my girl validate your parking. Oh, give it to the girl. Have the girl do it.
Hmm.
You don't say that now. My receptionist will do.
Yep.
But not too long ago, they had. And then, of course, Doctor Evil is allegory. He represents a criminal mind who, is obviously something's wrong with him. He was brought up by these weird, he talks that whole monologue about my father used to beat us with reeds and this, and he doesn't change at all. He doesn't learn at all. I want to take over the world. And number two says, sir, there is no world to take over. It's all corporations. And so he doesn't want to hear it. He
Hmm.
still wants to be, and $1 million is a lot of money to him. And then he goes, oh, $100 bajillion. And they start laughing. He does not change. I mean, he picks up rap songs and this,
Hmm.
what if God was one of us? Oh, yes, I wrote that. I wrote that. But he doesn't change. He doesn't change at all. He still, uses what
Very
he
much.
finds to
Yeah.
his own advantage. So,
So
do you understand the allegory? That's why the first movie is so important.
there you go. That's absolutely. And again, it's one of those classics that, like I said, you can watch now and still. I'll probably watch all of them now today. Just
You
thinking about
should.
it, man. It's been awesome.
Here's what you
I,
do:
what's
get
up?
three different DVD players. You put one and another and the third one, and you three monitors, and you play them all at the same time.
Excellent. Well, before I let you go, man, we have a Mojo lightning round I want to play with
Oh,
you.
let's do
Okay.
it.
This is just, quick answers and let's do this. All right, man. Are you ready?
Ready?
All right. Mojo level right now, 1 to 10. What'd you say?
I said nothing. I said
I,
nothing. The 10 being best. I was going to say that. So, right?
yes.
Okay, go
Uh,
ahead.
let's see. Chest hair, natural or enhanced?
Enhanced. I don't know what you mean by enhanced.
Maybe
I would have to say natural. What do you mean by enhanced?
enhanced, maybe a little bit of shaved, maybe
Oh,
dyed.
okay. So natural or manscaped or stubble. Okay. I would say, well, there's two answers.
But go ahead.
10 to natural, if it's not too, you know, um, 10 if it's manscaped properly and you've got the body to show it off with. Shaving with stubble all over it, is it? No. So does that count at all? If it
No,
looks good when it's hairy, which Austin does not, then yes, leave it. But if it's like, the guys at the gym who have it all, and it's like, oh my God, what are you doing next to me? Yeah, I would say that's an open question. Yeah. So,
gotcha. 1967 London or modern Vegas?
definitely 1967 London. Modern Vegas, it's it's like Planet of the Apes. I mean, these crazy people have taken it over. Everybody's drunk. They walk around with the drink. The only time I go there is to do to trade shows. I don't walk around. I
Mhm.
don't go to the casinos at all. You want to win in Las Vegas? You want to know how to win in Las Vegas? Don't play. It's like
I
like
mean,
war games. Remember that
yep,
movie War
yep.
Games? How do I win the war?
Don't.
Don't fight. All right, go ahead.
All right. Tea or cocktails?
Oh, definitely tea, baby.
There
I'm a
we
teetotaler. Totaler? I don't even know her.
go. Let's see. Shag carpet, yes or absolutely yes?
That carpet is absolutely no, man. Have you ever walked on? It's like walking in mud. You're walking on a rice patty. It was like, oh, I'll get the door. Oh, I gotta get the shag carpet, no, baby.
Go-go dancers or secret agents?
Well, listen, you're talking about apples and oranges. You know what I mean? You see how offensive that was? That was
Yeah.
very offensive. That could be some people to watch and go, oh, but I'm sorry. Just both,
Both.
because go-go dancers are where it's at, baby. And what was the other one? Secret agents. Yeah, they're the ones who come in and look at the go-go dancer. No, that's a fact. No, I would secret agents if they're if their purpose isn't nefarious. I say yes, because they're saving lives. And so it's just two separately different things. But
Definitely. Who would you pick out of this group? You would pick a lot of vagina, Fook me and Fook you, or Pussy Shagwell?
Lucy Shadwell, no, Felicity Shadwell. Come on, man, let me
I
see.
tried to get you on that one.
Lucy Shadwell. Yeah, that's a new one. Yeah, that's a sister. Come on,
It's the one in Austin Powers 4.
yeah,
That's
that's it. We'll have another one. No, I'd say the more the merrier, baby.
there we go.
Book me, book you, book them, book her, book. There are many books. As many as you can, man. You'll pass out the first 5 minutes, but it'll be bliss, baby.
Most overused catchphrase.
Two of them. No can do, and mi casa es su casa. Every movie that has that, turn
Mhm.
it off. And oh no, you go first. Oh no, you go first. No, you talk. No, yeah. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Catchphrase that you secretly love saying.
Ooh, I love saying. That is a good one. So I don't really speak in many catchphrases. And
Okay.
when I'm working, I don't really have a favorite one. It's just what somebody would say to me, or
Mhm.
somebody would do something that would elicit the correct response. I don't really. I do say, "Hey, you kiss your mother that mouth." I do say that. Somebody gave the finger the other. I said, "Oh, you kiss your mother with that finger."
One word to describe Austin.
Groovy.
Nice, nice. If Austin had a social media, what would his bio say? I mean,
Let me get mine out.
I was like, I'm about to say,
He wouldn't say the same. Yeah? He would say, hello, hello. This is Austin Danger Powers. Danger's my middle name, baby. And I am a member of the Ministry of Defense. Oh, not yet, because I'm still responsible for any mishaps. And I can surveil anything you want, baby. I can, bring back loved ones, get rid of loved ones, not get rid of them, but shoo them away. I can escort you to dates. I can escort you to weddings, but not as the groom. I can escort you to funerals and cry on cue. Oh, it's all right. To the car wash, to the supermarket. Oh, look at it. I get it. And, and international espionage, baby.
there you go.
Is that all right? I
Um,
mean,
is the laugh harder than the voice?
no, no, the laugh is easy because the laugh sounds more like the voice than the voice does. So it's like, yeah.
That's awesome. And then
Yeah.
final question. Does
All right,
Austin still have his mojo?
let me tell you something, baby. Austin never lost his mojo. It was actually with him all the time, like the Tin Man.
There you go.
Just clap your butt cheeks together 3 times and say, "There's no place like sex. There's no place like sex." And you'll go home, baby.
There you go. And anything you want to say to the fans, to the people watching right now in Austin Powers, um, just you have the floor, my friend.
All right. I would want to say 2 words.
Absolutely.
Thank you, because I have had such wonderful response to this presentation. And, people say, "Are you any good?" I'll say, "Well, that is for others to judge,
Mhm.
you know. And if I can continue to make people happy and laugh and smile, and more people come up to me and say, "Oh, Austin, you made my day." And so that's all I want. That's all I would say. Thank you. I would say be good to yourselves, be good to each other. Okay. And I would say this: don't don't try to predict the future. Don't try to see into the future. Create the future, because that's what you're supposed to do. Create the future. So you know that's being good to yourself. So yeah, thank you. Be good to yourself. Be good to each other. Franklin Roosevelt said we got to look out for each other. Well, we do, baby. I'll look out for you, man. I'll tell you. Be your best friend. All of you look out for each other, and thank you for inviting me to do this, which started out as a voice on the radio and morphed into a Halloween costume and morphed into what it is now. And if I can use this for any of you that want to bring me in, then thank you. And I'm extremely grateful. So, how's that? It's all true.
Excellent. I do appreciate you coming on, and I wish you future success. I know you're going to have it because everyone loves Austin. And when they make Austin Powers 4, you're going to be right in it, man. You're going to be right in it. They're going to have you there.
We'll see. Yeah, it would be nice to be involved in some way. But yeah, all right, listen, man, you were very kind. Thank you for inviting me on. And hey, listen, that's what it's all about. And if you don't know how to find me, you know, go on the Instagram,
Let them know.
Austin Powers Impersonator. Austin Powers Impersonator, all one word. And you can follow me there, or you can write a comment. You're disgusting. You know, I hate your guts. You know, whatever you want to say, it's great.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, man. God bless, brother.
God bless you as well.